Hey, it's Leah, and welcome to Enlightened Mystic Essentials. And today we are going to discuss the 444 portal. So I can give you guys some insight on what's going on with the portal that is open, right? I came on earlier and made a video, but I did not post it because there was something that I was missing, and I was given the information that I needed, right? So our reading or our video today is going to be kind of set up how our TTOD is usually set up, where we discuss different things and then we get into a read. So let's go, because it's so important why things are happening, why they're happening, the reason for why they're happening. Because right now it's like, I guess I'll call it like maybe the first wave of major events that's starting to take place. Maybe not like looking at past time, but like for a lot of us who are adults, but we are not old enough to have lived through like the Great Depression or any type of major depressions. This is like, maybe say, far as I've known, a game changer. And for months I've been telling you guys that a major shift was coming upon the land, and I've been telling everybody to get ready, right? And at our last TTOD, and I believe some videos, I had told everyone like karma was on a tour. So there is a difference between karma. Karma is just like any other energy, where you have the light and the dark, the positive and the negative, right? So when I said karma was coming, because karma was on like a tour, not necessarily meaning that you were gonna experience bad karma, because there is good karma and there is bad karma. But I did warn everyone that karma was coming, right? So this reading is gonna be totally different, because I never really referenced a lot of beliefs in like gods and goddesses, or like whatever you believed. I never really did a lot of referencing to how I was raised growing up as a child, but today I am, because it's a lot of things that we need to point out. A lot of people have been pointing out like Revelation scriptures, right? And I read the scripture. Some of the scriptures I know, and those scriptures, is holding to be true at this time. But I always come on and I always tell you guys that spirituality is not a religion, right? You don't have to have physical leaders and physical guides to help you build your spiritual. It just depends on what you want to do, okay? Or how you want to build yourself up, plain and simple. If you are new to my channel, I'm Leah, right? I read numbers, colors, talk to spirits, and we have now hit a time, or we are peaking in this time where these numbers and these colors are gonna start coming into play. Because I always ask you guys, if there were no internet, same question I've been asking since I started, and you were roaming around in this world, running through the woods, trying to get away from the enemy, how would you know which way to go? See, these is where numbers come into play. This is where colors come into play, right? So it's important. So a lot of the numbers that we get, depending on what we get from spirit, I'm gonna throw new references or new words or new guide words to build up your knowledge with these numbers and these colors. So at one of our TTODs, I think it was the last one, we talked about the year of the emperor. Some of you may remember, right? And I told you the year of the 2020 was the year of the emperor. We are in the year of the emperor, right? What makes the energy of the year of the emperor so strong? Because we have entered into the year of the emperor. The emperor is major arcana number 4 in the tarot deck, right? Number 4. What does the emperor do? What I should have did was look. Let me try to find the emperor. The emperor sits upon the throne, right? And the emperor is surrounded by ram heads, also known as Aries. In the season of Aries, here he is. We are going to see a lot of shifts take place because the emperor represents Aries, right? So if you see, there's a ram head here, there's a ram head there. So this is why a lot tell you that the emperor could come in the form of being an Aries, right? The emperor is also dressed in red. One of the components of Aries is a fire sign. Fire sign represents Mars. Mars is the planet of love and war. Some say, some say love and war. And if you notice in this card, the emperor sits inside or within mountains. This represents the rules and regulations, right, of governing, right? Governing. So we get firsthand, right, what the year or what the year is about as far as the emperor. And I have literally been keeping up, trying to count up with you guys, not count down, count up. Because when I first started, we were in the year of the high priestess, all right? So that would have been 18? Last year, 2019, was the year of the empress, and now we're in the year of the emperor. When I say times can become harder. Let's keep it at that. Now, another thing that I wanted to show you was what the emperor holds in his hand. But a lot of cards are different. Usually in the right hand of the emperor, you see a scepter. And in the left hand, you see a globe or the world. And that represents the dominations. The domination of the world. Now, I don't know how many of you are into the right hand path and the left hand path, but that has its part in it as well, like one of the components as well about what's being ruled in your left hand and what's being ruled in your right hand. And I actually, our last TTOD, I was supposed to get to it. So many things happened and kept pushing me back and pushing me off. And I felt like it was actually spirit. Could have been spirit. Because I had to deal with so many things. I actually had got into the left hand path and the right hand path. Because our hands they tell us two different paths. Like palm readers, they read the lines of the hand and they break them down. But I'm talking about the left hand path and the right hand path. And I don't even have my notes on it. But anyway, back to the emperor. So when you come into the energy of the emperor, upright or straightforward, right? Forward. What does the emperor represent? Because a lot of stuff that we're going to talk about, everything is going to play a part. So anytime the emperor comes in strong, right? Strong or upright, the emperor represents stability and security in life, right? Not necessarily the emperor's life or everyone else's life, but in life, like the people who are literally physically living in this physical realm at this time. The energy is of stability and security, right? Security. Also, it represents an energy that is going to be on top of things, right? Everything is under control, right? This is what we went over at the TTODs, right? To give everyone a heads up of what we were going to be dealing with. It also represents hard work. And I have been also hearing and seeing a lot of representation of slavery, right? Coming into the government, putting everyone into slavery. And, it just depends, right? It just depends on what you believe in. Also represents discipline and self-control. I also talked about that at the TTOD. What are you going to do for you and your family? How are you going to rule and govern your own family, right? It also represents rules, boundary, borders, power, promotions, and like I said before, regulations. We, like a lot of us have now been put on curfew. A lot have been put on restraints. Because they tell us, oh, self-quarantine, quarantine in your home. But depending on how you was raised, if you was raised with the Bible, it's a scripture in there that says they will become prisoners in their own home, correct? So when you get the breakdown of the emperor, or you get the emperor in reverse, what does the emperor mean? A lack of authority. We're not at that point. Too controlling. When you have the emperor that is being too controlling, it spills over into the people. So now you have people saying, oh, take responsibility for yourself and self-quarantine. And it, where now the people take matters into their own hands, and they actually become like forceful, or they force the issue or the powers of the government among themselves. It also represents in reverse or upside down immaturity. Yeah. And manipulation. How many of you feel like the government is manipulating us or manipulating the situation? I mean, it just depends on how you feel or what you believe in. For a long time, I always heard my elders say, I don't have a president. God is my president. The Father is my president. Jesus is my everything. It just depends on how you was raised. Not saying because you don't believe what they're telling you, or you don't believe in the coronavirus, that you just go out here and, do something crazy. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, you have to be careful with your thoughts, correct? Because your thoughts are very magnetic. So if you stay positive and you believe that you won't be touched, correct? So, okay, let's get into, I wanted to tell you guys what the year was about, this year of 2020. And, we just started this year. So we got a long way to go. And I mean, they literally they're coming out and they're, placing rules and restrictions on everyone. I'm talking about, we haven't even made it halfway through the year, just quarter, not even a quarter way through the year. And here we go with all these rules. So, a lot of you, you might need to turn off your TVs and turn off your radios and start getting back into the mode of praying, honestly, because a lot of my patients, we've been having this conversation, and they always ask me, how do I feel? Because I am a young black mother, right? I don't have anyone who's in my race like that I take care of, that I see. And a lot of my patients, they always ask me, how do I feel about this coronavirus? And, I always give them the honest truth. I always say, this is the time that we need to start getting back to praying. Because I was raised that prayer changes things. and you know, they took prayer out of school, and they took the moment of silence out of school, and it seemed like ever since, you know, they started making little tweaks and changes, you know, even as with the youth, right? And I also talked about how precious our children are, and while we have to keep them protected, it seems like we just been going on a downhill spiral. And the reason why you must keep your children protected, because out of all of the energy that was ever created and produced and made in this world, the purest energy you can ever have is a virgin. And that's your children. Those are children. Those are the energies that is just like raw. Those energies are just pure. They are the closest energy, you know, that can, I don't know how to explain it, like the rawest or the closest energy you could ever have in your possession or be around, that is the closest to any you know, of gods or goddesses. It just depends. The divines, the heavens. So it is so important, right? And you have some adults and you have some parents who have learned to use their children's energy to become successful because they know the value. So keep your children protected, right? And that's like me. I have not just taught my children and taught to them. I have always let them know if I was to fall, right? Anything was to happen, because, you know, as a parent, you're going to protect yours at all costs. But I only want to be able to protect mine at all costs, but to be able to leave them under the leadership of another who I would trust to do the right thing, right? And I have taught them to listen to that next guy or that next leader, right? And it's crazy because my children, they're born and tapped in. Like they're tuned in. Like I can have a conversation. You know, some of you probably read the message where I told you that I have been gone because my mother passed away the beginning of March. But literally, like, my baby girl talks to her and she just comes and say, well, you know, mom, grandma said this, that. They're tuned in, right? And I thank the heavens for it. Let's go. Enough about me. So let's get into this portal situation, right? 444. And some of you may have heard me talk a little bit about portals, but never like really a lot, because I have not been pulled towards these portals, right? So this 444 portal is like very major, because for one, some people call them portals, right? Some are also known as doorways and gateways. And some call them angelic or spirit portals. It's important to know these things. How will you know, right, as you know a self, that angels or spirits or beings, because I have literally been like doing a lot of research, and I have been seeing this word beings, BEINGS. Like, how will you know that you are being contacted, or how will you know that you are being I don't want to say warned, because it's not warned. Oh, chosen. If you have been seeing a lot of repeating numbers, right? A lot of repeating numbers. And I have been seeing repeating numbers for months and months and months. And I have been researching for months and months and months. And I have been learning how to sequence the not sequence the numbers, but what they mean when they run together. It is like a whole message. So if you have been seeing like 111, 222, 333, 444, 555, for a long time I've been seeing my birthday. I've been seeing 1117, 1117, 11117. And I told my daughter, I said, every time I turn around, I keep seeing my birthday. I don't know why, because my birthday is November 17th. And Then next thing I know, my daughter, she called me. She was like, Mom, I done seen 1117. I keep seeing your birthday too. And I'm like, what is going on? I say, it's something about these repeating numbers. Well, I finally found the answer of why we have been seeing these repeating numbers. When I say it's good, it's good. So let me try to explain to you. So if you have been seeing all these repeating numbers, no matter for how long, you literally are going, now you know why you've been seeing repeating numbers. I'm going to tell you why. It says, what is an angelic or a spirit portal? Because I'm going to give you the definition so you understand. It is any person, object, or place, right? Person, place, or thing. Isn't that a noun, right? That acts, right, as a channel, right? Channel for unrelated spiritual beings to travel to and from the physical realm. Where is the physical realm? The physical realm is earth. I've been telling you guys that there is a difference between the physical realm and the earthly realm. The physical realm is the earthly realm and the spiritual realm. I've been telling you that. So where will a spirit portal or angelic portal come? Like, where would it pop up? Where will you find one? Because they're real. Any place, right? Or any object or with any person that generates or builds up a natural flow of energy. It can happen anywhere. A sidewalk, a portal can pop up on a sidewalk out of the blue. In someone's house. And I'm gonna actually tell you what you need to do when these portals start appearing. And this portal that's opened up for 444 is so important, people. It's so important, right? Okay. The spirit or the angelic portal of 444, right? It is the portal, right? That represents a dimensional shift, right? I keep telling you guys about these shifts that will occur for your awareness. See that? Our knowledge, right? To becoming part of a higher frequency. I've been talking about frequencies as well. This gateway, right? Because they can be called gateways, portal, doorways. Yeah. Will appear, right? To give you insight into interdimensions, to allow you to receive messages, channels, don't forget channeling, from fifth dimensional beings. This literally could be beings you have never heard of, never seen, no knowledge, but you want the knowledge, right? And then they say what? To achieve this, you must go within. See, you must go within. Who searches within? The hermit. Who is the hermit? The hermit is a traveler, is a seeker of wisdom, right? You got to go into hermit mode. But what is within you? DNA. This is I've been talking about bloodlines and bloods for a long time too. That's why red represents blood. Hello. And when you go within and you know, you start receiving all these messages, a lot of us or a lot of people are gonna wake up on a cellular level, right? And that awakening is called DNA activation. A lot of people have been hearing about DNA activation. So when the DNA, right, is activated, well, that's why I say this portal is so important. And I had to get into researching and looking up all kind of stuff, because Spirit was like, hey, this portal, hey, get on this portal. So I did. So when these memories that are inside us come to life and they start being activated, these is where people are going to receive, or what is going to be awakened. That's what I should say. Angels. This is what messages from angels are going to come. And it's been lying within you, inside of you the whole time, right? Time to wake up. They call them also the celestial light communities. Who are the celestial light communities? The angelic star tribes with an S. The bird tribes with an S, plural. I think they're called the angelites, with an S. And then the other are the star seeds. You cannot tell me you have not heard of star seeds, because everybody run around and they talks about the star seeds, the star seed child or the star seed children. And then you have the soul child. It's so many, right? It's a lot of stuff that we don't know, but you have to take the time to start looking into it, right? Why is the 444 so important? Usually I break it down. When you have 3 4s, it makes the 12. What is the 12? It breaks down to a 3. What is a 3? A creation. I've been telling you about creations forever. But 444 represents the number of angel. So you have the creation of the sign of angel. This is the 444. This is why this portal is so important, right? So when the portals open, right? The angel portal opens, it allows the angels to literally come and flow in and out of earth with no hesitation, with no problem. But when these angels start flying in and out of earth, what are they doing? They are waking up the DNA in a lot of people, all these tribes that I just named. They are coming in to give us signs, symbols, and it's going to come in a variety of ways, mainly through nature. Nature is so important. What is a part of nature? Because when I seen nature, I was like, okay, this is going to be the birds, the bees, the trees. Yeah, all of that. But also what is included in nature is mirrors. Windows and doors. Those are also included, right? Symbols of. These are all the ways that the angels are gonna start trying to connect with us and give us signs. Nature also includes clouds. So start paying attention. Birds. And don't forget, I told you a long time ago, what does birds represent? Birds represent communication. Anytime a bird flies or is just there, pay attention to what the bird is doing. Whether the bird is just chirping away, does the bird sound happy? Is the bird trying to talk to you? That's like, for example, my friend, she called me one day at work and she said, "Oh my God, Leah, I woke up this morning and it was just 3 birds and they was just chatting away. And then one of them came towards me and started talking to me." I said, okay, somebody's talking, some type of communication is coming. And I think within a couple of hours, she learned of what the talk was about. I'm telling you, pay attention to these animals, because the divines are going to use any means necessary, and nature is pure. These animals, they only can do what they're allowed to do. Start paying attention to feathers. How many of you have seen feathers lately? What color are the feathers? Pay attention to how the feather looks. Pay attention to the color, meaning, is it a black and white feather? Meaning, is it black at the top, white at the tip, or is it white at the top, black at the tip? Pay attention. Is it smooth? Is it ruffled? Also coming in the form of dreams, like that should have been a given. A lot of people in this world that are within these tribes, you are going to start dreaming. And if you are having a problem remembering these dreams, I'm gonna tell you to do what my mother had to do for me when I was a child. All I would do was dream, and I could remember half of the dream and not remember the other, until I started getting up after the dream, or getting up and going to the restroom, or getting up and getting a glass of water and writing down what I remember. Keep a notepad and a pen by your bed. That's all you got to do. That's why I told you guys months ago, I helped decipher dreams. I've been doing it for a long time. This is what's coming into play now. This is so important for us now. And another way, a lot of you breezes of wind. Start a lot of you are going to just say like the wind is gonna blow and hit you in your face, and by the time the wind hits you in your face and it stops, you're gonna have a message, because these are all the ways in which angels are going to communicate. And don't forget that there's an angel to control the wind. Okay, so what else I want to tell you guys? Okay, now let's get back to these okay, I don't know if I'm saying the name right, but the angelic is something like that. Okay, these angel numbers, like when you keep seeing all these repeated numbers that we've been seeing, because I've been seeing them for a long time, they come from the blue ray angelite lineage. This is, I guess, like another tribe, or it's like they call them blue ray. So they call them another soul. It's like another. Okay, it says another soul group of consciousness. Because I had to go and look up this these blue ray angelites. Okay, what do we know about them, or what have we learned about them? They are ultra sensitive to empaths, right? Yeah. Why? Because empath has a strong they strongly resonate to angels. This is why empaths are going to be picking up. Okay, how else will you know that you are either connected or related to them? Because it says the star seeds, right? The star seeds, as time go on and the connection is being made, is going to increase. So a lot of you are going to start having premonitions. A lot of you are going to start to have visions, right? It's going to start to feel and become more real, right? And you know, you just have to just try to remember or write down any messages that you get, because a lot of us that are in these tribes and all these star seeds, we are we are very important. Like, you're gonna be like kind of like the gatekeepers. Like, you're gonna be, it's gonna be very important that you remember the messages and try to get the messages out, to those, because you never know how many lives you're gonna save. I hear that plain and clear. Spirit says you never know how many lives you're gonna save, and that is the purpose. So don't forget, time to get back to prayer. So when I say I've been on it. So now I'm going to tell you, before we get into the read, I tried to find out how long these portals stay open. And the only thing I kept coming up to and kept running into is like these portals, they stay open until someone closes them. And there are ways to close them, but I did not want to come on here and tell people how to close it, because if this is an angel portal, don't you think we in a time that we need all the help we can get? But you do have those people, y'all already know, they'll get information and they'll abuse it, or they'll try to create more hell. And y'all already know I'm not even on that. So what else I got? Okay, so if a portal, say, because when you run into this portal or these portals, because it's their plural, it's multiple, you're gonna know, right? So just say a portal is in your home, right? I know, and it's funny because when you look at Hollywood, they show all these little monster movies. And in some people homes, they show these portals, and out of these portals are coming like demons. Listen, let me tell you something. All portals that open up are not demonic. And if it was before the portal, just say like a portal was getting ready to open up in your home and it was demonic, how would you know? Because before the portal opened up, all this bad stuff would start happening in and around your home and to your family. Straight up. Like, people are not going to tell you, but you're going to know when something bad is going on, and when something is positive and good, for the light, because you're going to feel it. You're going to sense it. Yeah. A lot of you are going to dream. A lot of you are going to have visions, because you are like your greatest antenna, right? Your body, you are of like an antenna to catching all these energies in the frequency. So you gonna know. But if you just, happen to, have a portal in your home, what must you do? Because they can appear anywhere. Keep your home drama free, chaotic, all of that. Get it out of here. It has to be a place of peace, because you're going to want to keep this portal open, especially if it's an angel portal. Yeah, they telling you it's an angel portal. So this is where the angels get to travel to and from throughout the earth. We need help at this time. And isn't it funny how all this coronavirus would come up during the time that the angel portal is supposed to open, to keep everybody under fear and to keep everybody's eyes or ears or minds stuck on this coronavirus and in fear. And like, if you wanted to know, like, if a portal was to open up in your home, where would it open? A portal is going to open up where a lot of prayer has been done. I'm telling you now. So like, if you are a person and you constantly pray, especially like if you a person like they done shut your job down and you don't have nothing else to do but worry in your home, worry. Turn that around and start praying. So if you was to go in your room and pray all the time, you'll say, you know what? I'm cutting off the TV. I'm cutting off the radio. I just want to pray. And in that space or place where a lot of prayer has been done, this is where the portal could open up, because this is the place in which a natural flow of energy is going to be. Because when you start praying, you literally clear your mind. You literally stop worrying and start focus on what? The heavens, the divines, your God, your goddesses, whoever you serve up under, right? Yeah. Because I just, Spirit was like, this is what they need to know. So this is why I wrote it down. If you also like, if a portal ever opens up in your home, this is also a space where you would like to have assortment of crystals. And that was supposed to have been our last TTOD. I was supposed to get into these crystals. When I say I got so much stuff wrote down and ready for you guys, but I could never get into it. But maybe this is the door opener for me to get into it. Everything is still wrote down. What crystals is for what, and how to use them, how to activate them. I got it. I'm ready to go. What else I got? Oh, and if, say, a portal open up in your home or whatever, and it closed down or it went away, that is also the space that you'll want to keep cleansed and free, and reset the area, because if it opens up in that space, it can open up again in that same space, right? Just remember, no drama, no chaos, because that's a natural flow, or that's a natural space where we want to have, especially like this portal, we want angels flowing because they're pure energy, right? So another thing that I did, I wanted to give you guys some references to how we know these portals are real. So I went back to the Bible, because I was raised in a home or in a household that we fell up under the worship of our Father and our Messiah, and we used the Bible. So for all of those who use the Bible, I'm going to give you some references to let you know that these portals are real. And you can go to the Bibles, and I'll put them down below in the description as well. So you can go and read for yourself to let you know, like, this is not a game. But y'all already know I'm not going to come on here and give you no horse pucky and no bull malarkey. I don't have time, right? Because I don't play with your life, because I'm not going to play with mine, right? So I got 5. Let me see. I wrote down 5 that, like, I felt like was self-explanatory when you read the passage, right? Or the scripture. So I try to, okay, let me put them, okay. So there are 2 places that I have wrote down that Genesis, in the book of Genesis, reference to these portals. Or what the other one was, don't forget I told you portals could be doorways, gateways. But in, I believe, Genesis 28, they also reference these portals to ancient gates. So Genesis chapter 28, verse 10 through 17, portal. You can read about the portals there. Genesis chapter 12, verse 8, reference to portals. Psalms 24, verse 7, represents. Daniel 10, chapter 10, verse 13. And the other one I have wrote down, Acts chapter 2, verses 1 through 4. So though I put them down in, the description box, so you guys can go look them up and tell me how you feel. Because I haven't really been on YouTube, but I've been catching bits and pieces of, like, some of the readers that I listen to, and my readers have, like, narrowed down, because a lot of the readers, what they were talking about, it just wasn't for me. But I do still have a few, like less than a handful, that I listen to that have literally, like, been on point for my life. Like when I'm not reading for myself, like, these are the people who I listen to, because I feel like we're on the same wave, right? So I have been noticing, like, a lot of people, they have not been talking about the portal. I have been looking and seeing, like, a lot of people just keeping up with their regular regimen. I don't know if it's because people are saying, well, I don't want to talk about the coronavirus because everybody is talking about the coronavirus. I mean, I ain't really talking about the coronavirus. I just feel like it's a distraction for what's to come, the takeover. That's how I feel. I feel like a lot of people are going to lose their jobs. A lot of people are not going to have money. And then this is when you're supposed to bear the mark of the beast to even buy, sell, trade, or do anything. Honestly. I haven't even read on it because it haven't been on my mind. What I've been pushing with, like, my patients, since they keep asking, and my children, is prayer. And I grew up in a household, and I have seen prayer change a lot of things in my life, and in my mother's life, and my brother's life, and my family's life, and praying to the higher ups, to the all source. I call my Father my all source. So I feel like a lot of people, depending on who you serve up under, a lot of people have turned their backs on on higher powers, and the higher powers are letting man come in and destroy, honestly. And those who are starting to focus back, and those who was put their focus back where it needs to be, those are the people who are not worrying. And I tell you what, I've talked to a lot of people, and a lot of people are not worried. You know why? Because they say the same thing. I feel like, if a time comes and people have to face fears of themselves or blocks of themselves, I feel like the devil is going to make you face yourself and basically ask the question, do you want to die? And for those who are afraid to die, They are the ones who are going to be the beast bearers. Honestly, that's how I feel. I have not spoken to my ancestors, even my mother, because a lot of people, they keep saying, well, Lil, you're taking it so well. And for all of those who sent me messages and call me and text messages and emails, I appreciate it, because it makes you feel, even though one of my main guys and one of my main teachers is gone, she's not gone. She's gone in the physical, but in the spiritual, I'm good with that, because before she left, for years, even when I was growing up, she always told me, when I pass on out of my physical, when my journey is over, I'm gonna come back because I can help you more in the spiritual. And I have been amazed, because she passed Monday, and like within a couple of days, I started hearing flutters in my ear. I kept feeling someone touch me, and no one was there, and I knew it was her. And I kept asking her, how can you, leave out of your physical body so fast and in the spiritual be so strong? Because I know a lot who have passed on out of their physical journey, and they they're in the spiritual, but they're not even strong enough. They have to have other ancestors come to contact. It just depends on what you know, right? And she's been like right here, and I've been talking to her, and we got that understanding a long time ago. She can help me more in the spiritual realm than she can in the physical. So at this point, I'm not worried, but I do look at the signs, and I do know the signs, because when I was growing up, my mother would always pray the prayer, and she would pray to our Father and say, before times get really bad, I want to leave this world. She left this world literally a week before Corona hit. When I buried my mother at the funeral home we used, the funeral director said, you guys were literally the last family that was able to sit next to each other, hug each other, embrace each other over your loss. And he said, before you leave today, I want to show you my chapel. I said, no problem, because I would love to see it. And when I went in the chapel, it was a whole nother place. All the chairs, like literally 6 feet apart. When I went in, when we had my mother's service, it was at least enough room for maybe say 200 people. And then when I went in, I said, oh my God, how many chairs do you have? He said 42. Can't touch each other. Everybody can't be up there hugging and touching. And he said, I don't know how long this gonna last, but we're gonna get ready to start having graveside services. They can't even come in here. I said, oh my God. And I just told my mom, I said, you know what? It was crazy. You literally left at the right time. So I have been spending a lot of my time really embracing my family. I've had my moments, because our family was small. I still have my dad. Don't get it twisted. But my mom and my dad divorced when I was 21. And I was not raised in a household with my father. So all I knew was my mother and my brother. And my brother was 10 years older than me, but my brother passed away 10 years ago. So literally I'm here by myself, because our family, I always look at our family as being small. And out of my mother's sibling, which was 6, she was the only child to only have 2 children. So she always basically told me, life is going to put you in a position you don't have any choice but to be strong. But as life go on for me, I have learned more about spiritual being, and I have learned the differences between spiritual and physical, that I embrace it. Like, I kind of like look forward to it. I literally like look at it as being an experience that I want to experience, but I don't want to experience it to the point where I literally leave my children behind and leave them lost. And I had to put my because when she passed, my kids found her first, and then they called me, and then I came in. I remember asking her, why did she leave me so soon? And then someone, because my ancestors was there, she was there. They say, you gotta think about it, you grown now. And I was like, you right. And I said, you know what? Thank you for leaving me at this state, at this age, because it's a lot of people, their parents died when they was babies, and they never knew their parents. So I thank the Father for the opportunity, and my dad, even though I wasn't raised with him, and my mom and my dad divorced, he's taking it hard, and he's getting better. But it is what it is. All of us will go, being raised how I was raised under the religion that I was raised up under. We have only been guaranteed two things: life and death. And I feel like it's going to come a point where the same ones who keep talking about this coronavirus every day, I feel like they're going to put people in a position where they can literally threaten them with death. And a lot of people are going to be afraid to die because they're not taking heed in the knowledge of knowing that they're going to die anyway. And it's all good because everyone is not going to die, because it's a whole lot more to the story that has to be processed or played out before the end comes. Okay. You just pray and ask the Father that you don't be, or your family is not one to suffer. And I keep hearing back to the basics. Everyone, back to the basics. Before we had light, before we had stoves, before we had guns, how did you survive? It's back to the basics. It's going to be a time where we're going to have to get back to the basics. Let's go. Let's get into this reading because I don't want it to be super long. But I know a lot of people have been like on me. Leah, what's going on? How you feeling? I'm so sorry. A lot of people, I don't know the feeling. I have never lost, or I haven't lost my mother, but I've lost my brother. When I say I've heard stories, and I literally cry more for you guys than I have cried for myself or my mom. Yeah. So anyway, so I tried to figure out what would be the best spread to use at this time, because I got a few, because it's a lot going on. So I thought about doing an angel spread, and I said, I don't know. I thought about doing connecting with your spirit guides. I also think that would be like a good reading to do per person. Like, what are the guides? What are your spirit guides? What are your ancestors? What is it that they need to get to you? What is it that you need to see? What is it that you need to know? I thought about doing an Aries spread because we're in the season of the Aries. Thought about doing an Emperor spread. When I said so much, then I settled on what is the message or messages from our spirit guides at this time. What is it that we need to know? So there's a 4-card flip, right? And we're going to flip these cards. We're going to get our cards, and then I'm going to break them down, right? So we're going to learn what we need to know at this time. So then when I said, okay, we're going to go with the messages from our spirit guide, from spirit, right? The Holy Spirit, right? The number one spirit, Holy Spirit, right? So I kept saying, well, what is it which way I need to go? Spirit said, let's go with the messages. So we're going to start with the Angels and Ancestors Oracle deck. This is where we're going to get our messages from, okay? So let's go. Spirit, for everyone to see, feel, hear, and understand. Why do we need this reading? It's only 4 questions that need to be asked. Why do we need this reading, Spirit? Why? That came out quick. Let go of the need to be right. The peacekeeper is here. Peacekeeper. Yeah, the peacekeeper is here. Let go of the need to be right. Learning how to something about a veil. Hold on. Learning how to unveil the block. Learning how to see past the block. Something about a block. Something about a veil. Learning how to, I hear a whole lot. Learning how to see a creep. Basically saying learning how to see. I started to say it. Spirit say don't say that. Oh gosh. Learning how to see the bull poo-poo. Learning how to spot it. Learning how to see it. And when you see it, when you hear it, know that it's bull. Like see, you need to see the proof, right? Need to see the proof. Like what's real? Because I hear somebody saying what's really good. What's really good? Like what is really real? Like what's going on? Okay. What are our guides trying to tell us? Like, what is the message our guides want us to know at this time, Spirit? We got 2. Drop your shields. The protection guardian is here. And so far, we have a lot of feminine energy. It says, drop your shields for what? Waiting for important information. We have to pay attention to our oracles. I have been getting a lot of questions about, am I still selling products? Yes. But I am running low on a lot of things. Like I have a few sage sticks left. And right before all this hit, I was getting ready to get some new, oh man, it was so much I ordered. I do have a few sages. I still have oils. I have baths. It's a lot. A lot of people are asking about different things. But I have stuff. If you're not sure, all you gotta do is call me or text me. I put my business number down below too. Okay, the third question, what is our spirit guides' advice to us at this time, Spirit? Like what is over the last 2, over the 2, right, over these, the protection guardian and the oracle that talks about what is our guides trying to tell us. Unleash the wild within. What is the advice? Time to release something that is within you, more feminine energy. We are so wounded at this time. Every card that's coming out is feminine energy. Wounded after wounded after wounding. Time to get it together. And I keep hearing unleash the fear. Don't be afraid at this time. All right? Don't be afraid. Use precaution, true. But do not be afraid. Because the worst thing for us as a people to do right now is be fearful. I'm telling you. To be fearful. And you have to always remember there are things in this world that is a whole lot worse than what is going on now. And a lot of people may need to start praying right now. And I'm not talking about, when I say praying, I'm not talking about praying for yourself. Because you can pray for yourself all day, every day, but that prayer becomes selfish. It becomes a selfish act because you only praying for self and no one else. It is time to start praying for others. Pray for yourself and pray for others. That's just like I've taught. You forgive when you forgive yourself, you forgive another. If you forgive someone else, you got to forgive yourself as well. Prayer works the same way. Yeah. Let's go. Last question. What is the outcome along our path, Spirit? What is the message over our? Why do we need this reading? Why do we need this reading? Over the peacekeeper. Why do we need this reading? Take notes of, okay, paying attention to these moon cycles. Very important. Very important. We are now in the season of the Emperor. Our new moon falls in on the 7th. And I have not even looked at April. I'm still in March. When I say I haven't done a lot since my mom's been gone, because I actually been running around like trying to get everything for her together when I wasn't really running, because she had everything laid out. But it was more so of trying to fall back in line. I got to pay attention to and you guys do too. We got to start paying attention to our moon cycles. So messages are coming through moon in the form of signs of the moon. And now be careful, because you know this can come in as a message, or this can come in as a warning. Moon, be careful. Let's go. Let's get some what I want to do. Let's get insight. All right. Let's get insight. Spirit, what is the insight for the peacekeeper? All right. Why we needed this reading. What is the insight surrounding the peacekeeper at this time? 2. Woo. 1 falls on top of the clarifying deck. No wonder. Burden. Okay. The high priestess of air. Let's go. Being logical. All right. Using your head. Using your head. Using logical thought. And learning to do what? Let go. Beautiful. Letting go. Right. Changes is at hand. Butterflies. Springtime is here. A lot of you are going to start seeing butterflies. It represents transformation. Letting go of what? Burdens. Let's go. Get them burdens out of here. No more need to worry. No more need to worry. Right? Letting go of burdens is time. Use your head. Do what is right to learn how to let go of what is hindering you. What is holding you back, I hear. What is holding you down? What is riding your coattail, right? What is your cinder block, I hear as well. Yeah. No, it's not the time to fall apart. It is not the time to fall down unless you're falling down upon your knees and praying. And like I had to teach my children, you don't have to open your mouth to pray. All right. Spirit, what is the insight surrounding our protection guardian and our oracle, right? On what our guides was trying to tell us, or trying to tell us that we may be not seen, that we may not be taking heed to. That was quick. Being obedient. Do what you got to do. More feminine energy. All this wounding. Do what you got to do. What is right? The insight of the she-wolf on what is the advice of our spirit guide. And at this time, our spirit guide is Holy Spirit, right? The spirit that dwells upon the water, sits upon the waters. The grounding of what? Oh, I see it. The grounding, because it falls on the ground, of belonging. Changing, because belonging comes in as a 5. Changes are here. To what goes, what stays, whether it is within your mind, what is in your belief system. Time to release. And this comes in the form of a block. You are the one who is the decision maker of what goes, what stays. Who goes, who stays. Because it is now a time of releasing fear, correct? And for the moon, as our advice along our path, Spirit, what is the insight at this time for the moon? Being obedient towards these differences. Because your card is differences, but differences jumps out on top of obedience. Difference comes in the form of 9. 9 represents the divines, right? Calling for your attention to a person or a situation. Differences, changes are upon us. Changes are upon us. So let's look at what we're going to look at. Let's look at why we need this reading and let go of these burdens. And let's look at what's along our path, right? We'll do it like that. Okay. So time to let go of these burdens. But let's look and see why the peacekeeper is here. Letting go of the need to be right. Feminine energy coming in wounded. And then what I see is High Priestess of Air. A lot of you are not using your head because the peacekeeper turns their back towards the High Priestess of Air. Needing to change that because the High Priestess of Air comes in as a 6. 6 represents balance, right? Maintaining balance, receiving a balance. It in your mind, right? The answer lies, right? The answer is there. But something or someone is causing you to turn your back on what you already know. Woo. 2 feminine energies, 2 wounding. Feminine energy represent woundings, correct? Even got the buffalo turning its back. Buffaloes represent strength. Needing to quiet yourself, needing to ease your mind out here. Let's get a spiritual message. Spirit, what cannot be seen in the physical but is there in the spiritual for the peacekeeper? Hidden. Hidden for the peacekeeper. Sisters of the Seasons coming in as an 8. What is the 8? Spiritual rebirths and rejuvenations, also known as a transformation. Calling for a spirit to a person or a situation. You only have a few numbers that have only one meaning. 8, it is the number of spirit, infinite. Spirit is the being that moves to, fro, from, and throughout the earth. Yeah, 8. Rejuvenation factors, right? Sisters of the Season represent cycles of growth, natural law, and divine order. What must you remember at this time? That whatever the divine say, this is what it's going to be. Main colors here are white and blue. White represents the purity and the clarity of the blue. What is the blue? Being cool, calm, and collective. Being cool, calm, and collective towards doing what? Letting go of these burdens. What are you worried about? What is your worry? What is your cinder block? Time to let go. Changes are at hand. Changes are at hand. Let's clarify. Cycles of growth. Spirit, why is Sisters of the Seasons here? Why do we need this reading? Because a victory is here. And then it hits my lip and my hand. Victory, if you speak it, right, you can achieve it. Hands represent action. Taking action towards your what? 6 of staff, victory. On a journey over all conflict. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Spirit, clarify the 6 of staff. Judgment is here. Yeah, final decision. Are you going to be victorious or not in this situation? Do you claim victory or do you give it away? Underneath the deck, 4 of Cups is here. Someone who is ready to move forward, but they are blocked by their attachments. Attachment may not necessarily be someone, but it could be your mentor. How do you feel, right? What are you thinking about? Contemplating too long. The more you sit and ponder, you probably heard me say you study long, you study wrong. Because after so long, you start to doubt yourself. Then they say you better get a new mind frame, a new mindset. Hangman is here. Stop studying. Stop worrying. Study long, you study wrong. The divines are here. They're trying to enter in for your advancement. Let's go. 8 of coin. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. And then they're telling you to take action. Yeah. Quickly. And get away from all the juggle struggle. So you can celebrate or have a peace of mind. Right? 3 of cups. And be stable. Or stability factors are here for a staff. To what is true and just. Let's go. Ace of Swords. Stop. So what they tell us is here, right? You focusing on studying wrong, studying long, right? Not paying attention. Time to get your mind right, right? Time to come out of the 4 of Cups and move into the hangman mode. And I would prefer to be in hangman mode over the 4 of Cups anyway. Because here in the 4 of Cups, you are down upon your knees. No. That's not where we need to be at this time. But at least if I'm going to be in a uphold position, literally in the hangman, at least I'm in a spiritual uphold. And I'm not just physically down and out, but I'm in a spiritual uphold because that blue beetle represents the divines, right? So coming out of a time, right, or coming out of a position, right, where you are literally blocking yourself or your feelings, if not your mental, is blocking you so you can get to your advancement. So I want to be in the spiritual uphold. I want that. Because after I come out my spiritual uphold and get my mind together, I go towards my advancement. See that? 8 of coin. And then they tell us what? Someone is going to come into their advancement, or they're going to come to their senses rather quickly. See that? Coming in mighty quickly towards the advancement. And then the thing about the chariot, for the person who's on the chariot riding, they're looking back at what they have conquered. Yeah. And in this position or in this situation, what has been conquered? The juggle struggle. But understand what is surrounding your movement. What is surrounding your chariot? Coins. Things that are valuable, right? Something is very valuable here. And the 8 of coin with the 2 of coin makes the 10 of coin. What is the 10 of coin? Something of value. Could be a job, could be an organization or a company, could be family values. 10 of coin. See that? But what are you leaving behind? I'm leaving behind the indecision, the juggle struggle. Leah, I don't want to juggle no more. I don't want to struggle no more. I'm done with that. But I want to move on, right? I want to grow strong. I want to become strong. I keep hearing something about I want to be armed. I want armed. I want to be strong. I want to be armed. Something about an arm, but arm, I don't know what kind of arm you're talking about. Maybe somebody wants some type of protection, or they're going to go out and get it. It's like someone is tired of wrestling in their mind. They're tired of the ups and downs and rounds. So they say, you know what? I'm done with all of this back and forth. I'm tired of being on grounds of confusion. So I'm just going to take that confusion, that's that gray, and build from it. See that? Off of the gray ground to building up their advancement on that gray pillar. Someone is going to make a move, right? And then it's like they're making up their mind to make a move, but it's going to be like the right move. And then they tell us what? A person is building up their balance, 6 of coins, because they are on they have value in their pathway and they have value in their hand and the tool they need to build up their balance. Out of a time of confusion. See the pillar. Someone is settling confusion. Someone is going to get into the right mindset. And when they do make that move, that's going to be the right decision, right? Three of Cups towards the Four of Staff. I hope y'all can see this because I've been moving this light around like crazy. Yeah, Three of Cups, Four of Staff. Celebration of stability. But the celebration of stability of what? Truth. Ace of Swords and abundance. Yeah, because the grapes represent abundance. Right? So I'm making a final decision that I am going to be victorious. Final decision. Victory for me. That's what someone is saying. And I am going to let go of the burdens. I'm going to let go of the heartbreaks. I'm going to let go of the hard times. I'm going to let go. I'm going to let go. And then I hear someone says, I'm going to learn to let go and let God. Tell me, have you not heard this before? I'm going to learn to let go and I'm going to let God. What at this time, Spirit, the letting go of these burdens, what was surrendered, released, or accepted? See that? Surrendering the negative thinking, that mental block. And then it flies over here towards this storm warning. Getting out of that chaos. No. It says you have control over your thoughts. We all do. When negative thought services say thank you for sharing and quickly refocus on positive affirmations. No. Okay. So that's how I go. Get out of that negative mindset. If you allow negativity in, what comes along with negativity is fear, worryation, stress. Learn to let go and let the heavens do what they do. Sometimes you have to move out the way. Move your little self right on out the way. Hello. Because you get in the mix, you get in the way, you mess it up. You just human. And sometimes you cannot fight a spiritual battle in a physical body. I was gonna get it. Because there's so much talking going on. I hear a lot of talking. Okay, one more. Let's get into this moon and these differences. All right, coming in with us a message. Start paying attention to the heavens. Start paying attention to the skies. Whether it be constellations, because I picked up on constellations earlier today. When I was steady trying to figure out what was the other part of the message that I needed to get for you all. Constellations. Because see, the thing you have to understand, man, right, can play God to a lot of things and manipulate a lot of people or a lot of situations. But one thing that they cannot touch is the luminaries, the stars, the moon, the sun that came earlier, the clouds. Those are things that there's no control. They have no control over them. So start paying attention to the skies. There it is. I was going to ask, why is the moon here with differences? Charity comes in as the form of a 6. Receiving some type of clarity. This is where you're going to find your answers, right? This is where your knowledge is going to be, right? And I also hear helping hand, right? Comes in the form of 6 of coin. 6 of coin. Let's go. What is the 6 of coin? An equal give and take. You send prayers up, right? So blessings can do what? Come down. Understand it. You have to believe it and understand it. Spirit, why is charity here? Let's go. Why is charity here too? Ooh. Why is charity here? Victory and success, yes, is 1. Comes in the form of a 6. And the other one that is sitting on my hand is truth. Taking truthful actions. Being true to your actions. Truth. Wow. So your victory and success is a purple card, right? That represents spirit. Spirit. Purple cards represent spirit. Spiritually being victorious and successful. Yeah. Towards the major arcana of truth. Yes. Let's go. And together they represent the 8. Spiritual rebirths and rejuvenations, also known as a transformation, calling for a spirit to a person. Yeah. Being successful and having victory, and a situation. The situation of being truthful or a truthful situation. Being of truth or a truthful situation, right? Balancing the scales just right. And this person is literally, this is a scale. I hope you can see it because I've been playing with my light. And this person is literally standing on this scale. There's nothing over there, but the scale is balanced. Right? Because truth always balances out, right? 2s represent doorway, gateway, threshold opportunities, missed opportunities if it was in reverse, right? 2s also represent connecting factors, linkings, or bondage between 2. 2 also represents female. Yeah, not feminine, but female. Do what you gotta do. Let's go. Let's see why your victory and success is here with your truth. Spirit, why is, right? Trumpet horn. It's kind of like a new beginning is coming. A spiritual new beginning is coming, because it's like that person puts you in the mind of the fool. They're blowing the trumpet. And if you go read those Bible verses that I gave you, even if you don't have a Bible, look up the King James Version of the Bible on your phone. I like to read the 1811 because you have to understand when you say the King James Version of the Bible, right? That is the King James, that's King James telling, they're here. Like their perception of the Bible. But I like to go to 1811, and you can put that in too. 1811, Bible from 1811. And when you start reading in the 1811 Bible, it reads different. But I want you to get it where you understand it. But it kind of puts me in the mind of like a spiritual beginning, a new spiritual beginning. Now, let me tell you, when you say a spiritual beginning, because this person puts me in the mind of the fool. And there's a Bible verse that talks about, I think I wrote it down, Daniel. I think it's in Daniel. Daniel was talking about how he was sitting along the river and how one of these portals appeared. And out of the portal, he heard a voice that sounded like a trumpet that talks about the Heavenly Father's voice, how it was so mighty. And then when I see this person blowing a trumpet that represents heaven to me, but this person is on the edge of a cliff like the fool. You see? Yeah. And then it's like truth will never be able to balance out to a lie. Like if you was to put a lie on the scale, it would be so outweighed. But the truth is the truth, and there's nothing that could deter the truth. And this person is standing in a truthful position and balancing out the scales. See that? And this is major arcana. Why is victory here? But be careful, because I also feel like death is here as well. And a lot of death is going on around us. And when you say spiritual victory and success, this could be a lot of people getting out of their physical bodies and literally going into the spiritual realm. Not trying to scare anyone, But if you are afraid of death, then you would be scared. But you don't die. You know, they tell you, oh, you're going to die. You die, or you let go, or you are released out of this body. You know, and like how I explained it to my children, this is like Jumanji, because they look at Jumanji. When you go into the game, you choose the avatar. Well, you chose your avatar the first time in Jumanji, but in the second one, the game was messed up, so you got whatever thrown in whatever type of avatar. Even with the movie Avatar, wasn't that the one with the blue little monster dinosaur people? This is your avatar. When you first started out, you started out as a spiritual being. There was no physical. You got put into your spiritual being, because you're a spiritual being. You got put into a physical body to learn these physical lessons on this physical journey that you're in. Yeah. And then you're going to leave out of this physical avatar to go back to the spiritual being. So don't ever let anyone scare you with death, because they tell you, you know, when you die, you just cease to exist. This cease to exist. But this body that you in cannot move and cannot live without the spiritual being, right? So I've been, because when I say I've been, paying attention, and I've been I ain't gonna say I've been lingering on every word, but I have been paying attention to what people have been saying, and there is a difference. I always was taught that this physical body can't live without the spiritual being. That is very true. But some people say without the spiritual being, there is no physical body. Same thing. That is true as well. Because it's like your spiritual body, like your spiritual being or your spiritual self is life to this body. So, don't let anybody scare you with death. And I'm just being honest, like you hear people say, honest to God truth. It's basically what I'm saying. Let's go. Victory, success, and truth. You just want to make sure when you leave up out this body, you leave up out this body in the correct manner, because you don't want to pay the cost. Clarifying, you have the fool again. The fool is here. New beginnings. So be careful. Because a new beginning could literally become like the old beginning, but it's a new beginning because a lot of people are going to be transitioning out of this physical body into their spiritual journey again, honestly. And here we are, fortune. The goddess of water changes is coming to someone's feelings, because a person is now coming out of a time of worry. And I can read this two different ways. Darkness. I can read it a couple of different ways. I'm going to read it a couple of different ways. So they say a new beginning comes towards a person who is fortunate. The initiation. This could be the start process of a new journey towards fortune. And it just depends on how you look at it. A lot of people feel like getting back to their spiritual being is a fortunate situation to be in, because without this body, this avatar, there's no more pain, there's no more sadness, there's no more lack, there's none of that. But see, why? Because they're tired of having a feeling of lack and worry. See that? Queen of Cups. Queen's feminine energy represents lack, weakness. They're ready to come out of a time of darkness. This could be saying someone who is ready to get out of this time that we're living in, right? You just got to be careful. But a new beginning to a person who has now learned the truth for what the truth really is, and they don't have time to feel any lack and worry. See, I can read it different ways. I'm getting out of this. Leah, I ain't got time for that. I'm going towards my new beginning of fortune and fame, because now I know the truth. See that? New beginning towards fortune. Towards fortune. So, let's go. Let's read on this new beginning. Let's read on that fool or the initiation towards your fortune. So someone is afraid. No, someone is They're glad that they found out the truth. Here it is. They're coming out quick. Some people are readying and preparing themselves to transition back. Find out the truth. Clarifying the fool or the initiation of fortune. Learning how to stand up. Let's go. 7 of staff. Time to stand up and take action, right? For what? A victory that is to come. This is a person who is on a new journey, red staff in their hand, upon the 6 in a staff in the background, a victory. Let's go. Victory. All these 6s. Yeah. Someone is going to have a change of feelings. A person is going to want to come out of a feeling of lack, or a feeling of being afraid, or allowing anyone to play on their emotions, let alone their mental, because we have cups and swords here. A person now, they have learned the truth. You can no longer scare me. You can no longer bully me and tell me what you want to tell me, because I know the truth now. So I'm going to stand up, because at the end of it all, I have a victory here, and I want my victory. All you have to do is learn how to cross over the stream of water. This is someone who has not crossed over, because the stream of water represents passage. So if you are a person who is still here in this physical, you have to learn how to stand up. Whether it be you stand up for yourself and say, a person can't come and tell me whatever they want to tell me. The government can't come in here and tell me what they want to tell me. No. Ever since I was younger, I always asked my family the same question. If an asteroid was speeding towards this earth, do you think the government would tell us? No. You know why not? Because it would cause riots, and people would loot, and people would do this, and people would do that. They would go and kill. Oh, all of us finna die. I hate Susie Q. I'm finna go blow Susie. Yeah. Time to, just certain things that may, cause an uproar. People that can't believe everything you hear. I told you a long time ago, TV represents television. A person can come on and tell their vision or tell their story. Don't believe everything you see. Spirit clarify the 7 of staff. That came out quick. Do what? Learn how to stand up to lay down burdens. 10 of staff once again comes out. Someone who is on a new journey away from being a wounded warrior. Yeah, underneath the deck. Oh, I'm feeling down. I'm feeling out. I feel regretful. For learning, for what? Overstepping the boundaries of the Father. For overstepping the boundaries of heaven. For overstepping the boundaries of the divines. For overstepping the boundaries of our gods and goddesses. Yeah, 7 of coins. Someone who is held back. The creation of being held back. Why? Because someone will not resist. Knight of Swords. All the devilish actions that are going on. But then they tell us it's okay, because some type of change is going to be held back. See that? Until a message is received. You see that red bird? Holding back for a coin. Change is 5 of coins until a message is received for a person to learn how to overstep that low energy snake. And you have to pay attention to where the snake is placed, because the snake represents different things in different positions. So the devil is the snake. And then they tell us until a person learns how to overstep it, there's gonna be a conflict. 5 of staff. Towards what? Having to take the action to move forward. See that? 2 of staff towards a new plan. 8 of cups of what's being communicated. 8 of staff. Okay. Boom. So we have a lot of staffs. So here it's all about action. It's having to do with action. Your action. Get back. Action. So someone feels down and out, right? By not taking heed to divine warning out here. Like all your ancestors, all the angels, all the spirit guides, they've been trying to talk to you, but you and your little avatar, y'all been overstepping the divines. Don't forget that beetle represents the divines, and look at you towering over the divines like you a giant. Now you feel bad. Or some of you are going to feel bad because you have not. What has been holding back the creation, or holding back the resistance of the devil? See that? The resistance of the devil. That is going to or being forced upon a person. You see that? Devil towards 9 of coin. Someone who cannot collect their investments because the devil is here. Because the devil serves as a blockage. And until you receive the truth, or you receive the message, that red bird, yeah, there's going to be a conflict. 5 of staff. Towards taking action to learn how to stand up. 5 of staff, 7 of staff. 7 of staff. 7 of staff. They just told you what? 7 of staff. Learning how to stand up. See that? To do what? Lay down burdens. What is your burden right now? Overstepping the divines and letting the devil in. See that? Because they tell us what? You have not been resisting. Stop listening to all this crap. And when you learn how to stop overstepping your position, little avatar human, a new plan is going to be what? Given. 8 of Cups. Through a form of communication of action. See that? Don't forget, 8s represent transformations. Learning how to receive the message and transfer feelings of action. Plain and simple. Cups, staff. Cups and staff. We only have one major in this read, or in this part, and that's the devil. And they're telling us it's time to cut and hack away all this blockage. So, I mean, we got work to do, but it's not like a lot of hard work. You do what you got to do. I would tell you guys, I'm sorry that the reading was so long, but I'm not. Y'all already know it. If you've been riding with me or journeying with me for a while, y'all already know I'm not. I do what I got to do. I'm doing what I'm told to do. But it's always for the embetterment of you, all right? I'm Leah. I'm gonna leave my number down below, and I'm gonna also leave these scriptures down below as well, because I feel like there's some. It ain't no belief. I know that is something there, because if it wasn't, Spirit wouldn't have never said, hey, do this, do that. Learn to release this fear. Don't dwell on it. When you pray for yourself, you pray for others. Yes, that's how we gonna make it, right? Fall upon your knees and start praying. Start pulling out these Bibles and get to reading again. Start educating these children on in religion too. Don't just teach your children to rely on you. If you're a parent, you have to teach these children to rely on a higher source, a higher power. If you ask mine is my son is 8 and my baby girl is 6. She'll be 7 in 11 days, and my oldest turns 20 today. So I already taught my little ones, if something happened to me, something happened to your sister, who you call on, they gonna tell you. Because they are our most powerful source of energy. So anybody who needs to talk to me, email me, call me, text me, all that. Someone asked me, was I still doing readings? Yeah. Ain't nothing changed. Well, a few things changed, but nothing really hasn't. I haven't been off schedule really. I've been off schedule with YouTube and uploading to my website. Yeah, my website is enlightenedmystic.org. You want to read and go there and book. Yeah. Outside of that, man, I love you guys. Thank you for the messages. Thank you for riding with me. If you have not subscribed, subscribe. I don't know how I'm what's next for us. Because it's a couple things that have been changed. I think maybe I'll look at our pathways as a collective. What's before us? Because I think a lot of people want to know. Excuse me. I think that, I don't know. We'll see. But stay tuned, you guys. I love you guys and thank you. And until I see you guys later, stay prayed up or get prayed up. Yeah. Work it out, figure it out, and everything is gonna be all right.